Hello, everyone. I'm honored to have this opportunity to share my research. I'm Ru Chen from National Central Cancer Registry of China. Today, I'll talk about patterns and trends in esophageal cancer incidence and mortality in China, and analysis based on cancer registry data. Esophageal cancer is a global public health challenge. According to estimates from GlobalCan, it ranks 7th in incidence and 6th in mortality of all cancer in 2020. In global, Eastern Asia exhibits the highest regional incidence and mortality, followed by Southern Africa and Eastern Africa. Males have higher incidence rates than females. The two primary histological subtypes are esophageal squamous cell carcinoma and esophageal adenocarcinoma. EAC was common in Western countries, while over half of all cases of ESCC occurred in China. Previous studies show that the trends of ESCC and EAC differs in populations, and the trends may be associated with a mix of birth cohort and period effects. In China, esophageal cancer has posed a large disease burden. The daily caused by esophageal cancer ranks 4th among all cancers, and the survival rate is low, only 30%. So the aim of this study is to provide an update on the incidence and mortality rates of esophageal cancer and their trends in China based on data from the National Cancer Registry, and to provide a reference for the prevention and control of esophageal cancer. We extracted data from the National Central Cancer Registry of China from 2000 to 2016 and performed comprehensive quality control. Age-standardized rates and age-specific rates were calculated. We performed a joint point regression analysis to examine the trend in incidence and mortality of esophageal cancer. Subgroup analyses were conducted by sex, region, and histological type. There were 487 qualified cancer registries included in the data analysis, representing 27% of the total population in China at the end of 2016. This table shows the estimated incidence and mortality. In 2016, a total of 250,000 incident cases and 190,000 deaths occurred in China, and esophageal cancer ranks the 6th in incidence and the 5th in mortality in all cancers. The incidence and mortality of esophageal cancer increased rapidly after the age of 40 and peaked at around 85 years old. In all age groups, the incidence and mortality rates were higher in males than in females and were higher in rural areas than in urban areas. This picture shows the distribution of histological type. ESCC was the most common type, accounting for about 86% of all cases, followed by EAC and others. The distribution of ESCC and EAC were similar among males and females, as well as urban and rural areas. A total of 22 cancer registries with continuous data were included in the trend analysis. Significant decline in both incidence and mortality were observed, and the declines were higher in females than in males and were higher in urban areas than in rural areas. This is the trend of incidence of ESCC and EAC by sex and region. All groups showed a decreasing trend except for EAC in rural areas. This table shows the trend analysis of age-specific incidence and mortality, and the greatest decline was observed in younger age groups under 40 years, while smallest decline was observed in older age group over 70 years. Here's the discussion. The inconsistency between these results of this study and the previous study is mainly due to the difference in coverage of data source and time period. As we know, the Global Count 2020 included 90 Chinese registry, while in this study, we include 487 cancer registry. The CI5 included only 35 EAC and about 500 ESCC cases, while in this study, we included 140,000 esophageal cancer cases. The sex and the regional differences were mainly due in part to the difference of exposure to risk factors. According to the previous study, about 50% of the esophageal cancer cases could be attributed to lifestyle risk factors such as smoking, drinking, and low intake of vegetables and BMI. So the primary prevention strategy should focus on reducing exposure to various risk factors, especially in men and in rural areas. A strength of this study is the use of nationwide high-quality data from population-based cancer registry to ensure the validity, representativeness, and comparability of the results. However, the estimation was based on data from cancer registry system, so any underreporting or lagging from the system could have impact on the results. As cancer registry expand and data quality improves, more accurate data will be available for further studies. Here's the conclusion. Despite the declining trend in incidence and mortality, the burden of esophageal cancer in China remains high with sex and regional differences. More researches are needed to explore the underlying reasons contributing to these patterns and trends. Thank you for your attention.